Let me kill the volume.
JJ's.
Huh?
JJ's. Oh, this is the. I'm thinking this is Monday.
No, it's Sunday.
Yeah, I'm retired.
The days all blend together.
How many times have you asked me if I'm going back? I'm like, I don't know.
Right. Hey, everybody. Prepper Nurse One here. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. Uh, so, anyway, welcome. Before we jump into anything, I do want to remind everybody this is a very family friendly oriented channel. Please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And if you can't abide by those simple, easy uh, rules, if you will, there's always rules, folks, no matter what. If you want to believe in them or not, there's always rules, right? No matter what we're doing or where we're going. So if you can't, then those awesome people lit up in blue will give you the boot out of here because we are not going to have that. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about if you had 2 years to get ready, what would you be doing? So we're going to talk about that a little bit, and there's a lot that goes with that, okay? And so we're going to discuss that. But I want to talk a little bit about the weekend before we get into all that. Beautiful weather. We ended up having great weather this weekend. There's something going on that I can't discuss right now with you guys. So I would make sure any of my people that were down here this weekend that knows what was going on, not discuss it in the chat or elsewhere. Please keep it on the down low because until it is official, I really don't want to talk about it. So, but it's going to be an awesome thing once we know for sure, and I will let you guys know as soon as I can. But there's definitely something coming up down the road. But so that did take quite a bit of time this weekend as well. But anyway, you know, we got 13 more fruit trees planted this weekend. Buzz brought in 6 pear trees, 4 more apple trees, and 3 cherry trees. And you watch the upcoming videos that are going to be coming out. You'll be seeing everything. We got all the supplies for the deck, for the pavilion, and got that going. And you'll be seeing that in upcoming videos and of what we're doing and stuff like that. So I'll explain all that as we get there. But it was a good weekend, good camaraderie. Some of our members weren't able to make it, so they were absolutely missed. Oh, you know what? You're putting the egg count up there. I don't even know what the egg count is. I'm going to have to text Becky. So if you give me a minute, let me text her while I'm thinking about it. I'll just do it this way. I was just going to ask Heather to ask her, but I'll just go right to Becky. What's that? Well, okay, that's a great question, and thank you for asking that. I'm going to actually leave this over here. Uh, the answer to that question is we don't give away certain information. But all right, cool. She got right back to me, so let me just tell her thank you. Certain things we don't give away. Obsex. Okay, so all right, now I know that information. That will be helpful moving forward. So before we do anything else, let me just do this real quick. Ah, the sound. Yeah. A 50 cal in that position would be really nice, though, wouldn't it? Just saying. 9mm. Right. So that's still the LPOP is a work in progress. That's going to be something we're going to be working on for a while. Have some plans with that spot, you know. But yeah, even the 30 cal would be good. Absolutely. Truck is great. Thank you, Sharon, for asking. Okay. So before we get into anything else, let me address this because I saw some comments and they were like, "Well, that's something that you got to get on right away." And somebody was like, you could have killed somebody else and blah blah blah. So let me just go over this, okay? The brakes started squeaking like 5 days ago. And so, what I did being proactive with it, I am not a mechanic in any way, shape, or form. I called Mark. I said, my brakes are squeaking. I said, I'm going to pick up some brake pads and I'll bring them, back here. And then, could you do my brakes when you come down? And he said, yes. And I said, perfect. So the day that the brakes went out like they went out, okay, because the caliper, it ended up being, the brakes and then the caliper. Uh, the day that that happened, I was on my way. I have not been driving very much at all. Let me just put that out there as well. It's not like I'm running all over the place all the time because I'm not. I was on my way to go get brake pads that day. Okay, so for those that want to say, oh well, you let it go too far and blah blah blah. Brakes are real hard. Or these hills are real hard on brakes. It was something that I was absolutely being proactive about because of the situation. Um, Trust me, do you think I wanted to be going down a windy hill with a 300-400 foot drop off on the one side with no brakes? That really was not a good time. Okay, being 100% honest. So things happen. Unfortunately, we got through it. Thank goodness that I had old Mutt was here and Jimmy, and yeah, serious pucker factor. You have, I mean, to the point where I had literally an upset stomach for quite a while after that because my guts were. You have no idea. You have no idea. But anyway, thank goodness that Old Mutt was here and Jimmy, and they came up and got me, or came down, I should say, and got me. We went and got some brake fluid. I went and bought the brake pads, and then I had called Mark and told him, and he goes, "Was there any, because what happened was as I was coming down the hill, the sensor on my truck went off and said brake fluid low." So and it just all went downhill really quickly from there. So, and actually the rotors looked good. Mark said the rotors looked good. So it is what it is, guys. I mean, things happen. It's not like you plan them to happen. It's not like I rode around for 4 weeks with the brakes squeaking because I knew they were going. So and so what the person that made that comment, I did reply to them, and I said thank you for your judgment. Because of course, they probably are perfect, which some people out there I'm sure are. They sure act like they are. I am not, unfortunately. I'm close, very very close. Just being clear, very close. Anyway, but yeah, these things happen, guys. Those people who are passing judgment on you are probably doing it from their parents' basement. Oh my God, Dale, that's off. Yeah, well, you never know. Well, they just say, "Mom, I need my car fixed. Could you take care of this for me?" So yeah, JJ says brakes can go out at any time for any reason, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, okay, so the new cheese that you see sitting up here on top, I think, not 100% sure that Danny and Samantha left them behind. So thank you. I'm sure you didn't do that on purpose, but me and Dave were chowing them down outside earlier, so I thought I would put them in a place of honor with the other regular cheeses. So there we go. And they're awesome, actually. Very, very good. So, but anyway, guys, we had a great weekend. Um, you know, Added new members to the group this weekend as well. There's other people that are going to be, I'll be talking with soon, meeting with soon. And it's growing. We got some great people in this group, and I can't begin to tell you how awesome it is. I hope you gave Mark a big sloppy kiss. Well, no, but I did thank him profusely because it's being like I said, having people that you can count on is such an awesome, awesome thing. Ed, did you watch Mark change the brakes so you know how to do it? Actually, Patty, if you watch the video, I was making a video while he was doing that. I leave certain things to people that know how to do things that is not inside my realm of doing it, and being a mechanic is definitely not in my realm. Okay, I'll give you a good example of something. So, Dave and I walked down the other day. I was going to change Steve's dressing on his hand. Well, right when I got to the point where I was going to change his dressing, Dave made an exit. I go, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Oh man," he goes, "I don't want to see that." So I mean, I have my element. My element is nursing. All right, I know what I'm doing as a nurse. Nothing doesn't make me sick or any of that type of stuff. I've been doing it for a long time. I've seen stuff, guys, that would make you puke. To be honest with you, but so I know. See, I'm smart enough to know where's my expertise and where is not my expertise, and having people, surrounding you with different skill sets is hugely important.
You know
And
your limits.
what's that?
You know your limits.
Yeah, yeah, you know your limits. So, but yeah, being a mechanic is definitely not. I don't have the tools for it. Like that's why I called him ahead of time because he had to make sure that. Ed, will this be the first summer at the new homestead? No, I was here all last year, guys. Last year, if you remember, starting in April of last year, I would spend 3 weeks down here, and then I would spend a week in New York, and then I kept doing that all year until November, and then in November, that's when I was down here full time. Um, from that point on, and I went up to New York here last month and spent about 10, 11 days up in New York. Probably at this point, I'll be going to New York like maybe twice a year. I mean, there's so much to do here, and you
I
know,
broke down on the way through.
yeah, actually, yeah, and so listen, so I'll tell you this one. So Mark, on his way down here, he was about 30 miles away. His car broke down, and so Dave, so here, Mark's car's broken down. My truck's broken down at that point. Um, Dave went, and I had to do the live stream. This was Friday. Dave went out, picked up Mark, towed his car to a certain spot so that he could come, and he called his father and his mom. Um, and so you're probably thinking, well, geez, how old is Mark's father and mom, right? His dad's 86 and his mom's 83. They drove down here on Saturday with a tow trailer behind their truck. Got down here Saturday, and then so Saturday evening, Mark left with his mom and dad, and his son was with him too. Son, awesome kid, by the way, 16 years old. You'll see it. You probably saw it in the videos. Quite a bit bigger than his dad, but great kid, and so again, so things happen. Things happen you don't foresee, but they. So he left, and then he let. I talked to him this morning, and they had gotten back to Pennsylvania and gotten things squared away and stuff like that. So, but again, you just never know when things are going to happen. They're going to happen, and so, but. I honestly don't think we have until next year. Well, we're going to talk about that. Jeff, I sent you an email to review when you have time. Jeff, I did see that, and I will be giving you a call. I didn't want to call you before the live stream started because I have a tendency to get long winded. I know some of you may realize that already, but I will be calling you soon, Jeff. I did get your email. So, anyway, guys, let's now that what do we got? 334 in the chat. We're at 136 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you for that. Also, again, it makes a huge difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you for that as well. All right, so let's. So last thing I want to say before we get into the topic, and I really want to get into the topic and talk about this. Great weekend, great brother and sisterhood with everybody that was here. It was it's very fortunate. And I can't even begin to tell you how important it is. You know, Ed, I thought I saw a Hawaiian guy in your group. Actually, the gentleman you're referring to is Chinese. So, yeah. But anyway, and he's been here since the beginning, and that's Johnson. He's been here since the very beginning. He came last April. Him and Bruce are buddies. They come down together, and they've been friends for a long time, and so that he's been coming here since the very, very beginning. He's one of the original OGs. So, all right. But again, like I said, proud of my group. Awesome, great weekend. Um, is he a surgeon? No, no, he's not. So anyway, let's get into this, guys. If you had 2 years, right? You knew you had 2 years. It's all you had. You got 2 years from now. SHTF's going to happen. And the reason that I'm talking about, and that's why I decided to do this video, there's all these reports are saying that by 2025 we will probably be at war with China. Okay, I don't know if you saw that. If you saw that report, I did see that report. Um, Very concerning, obviously. What you have to understand is this: in a war, there is no winner. Nobody wins in a war. You know who suffers? Joe average citizen suffers, and the soldiers who have to fight the war on both sides. So there's no winners. Well, actually, there are winners. The rich get richer, and the rest of us sacrifice. That's how that goes. But anyway, so I read that article saying that by 2025 we're going to be at war with China. Could it be sooner? Could be. Who knows? Will it happen in 2025? Who knows? You know what I mean? It's like, but I wanted to do a video on this. If you knew right now, I got 2 years. What are you doing? What's your priorities? What are you thinking? Okay. And my thought process is this: if you knew you have 2 years, or if you don't know, like we don't know how much time we have, why are you not just being proactive in doing everything that you can to get yourself in a position now? I mean, to me, that's what we're doing down here. We're putting ourselves in a position, hopefully, to be as successful as we possibly can be in that situation. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put ourselves when, we're preparing now like it can happen at any time, because it can happen at any time. That's the reality. And, the position you put yourself in, the places that you are, how prepared you are, will absolutely make a difference in your chances of survival. And that's the importance of it. I mean, it really, really is. I mean, looking at location, location is probably your, you know, probably your most primary thing. The location of where you are, or the location of where you're going. That's probably the most important aspect of it. So, Don Hill says, "Oh, I decided to start ramping up and making wine and beer. Nothing wrong with it." Here's the other thing that I really want you guys to understand: anything that you are doing, anything that you're learning, is going to make you more valuable, and it's going to make your life easier in an SHTF situation. Just like us this year adding the bees. Okay, it's you are really have an awesome group of people. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate you saying that, and they are. Um, you know, uh, Location is hugely important. So you better make sure if this is where I'm making my stand, wherever you are. Okay, make sure you're putting yourself in a situation that you are prepared for that. If you are in suburbia, you know, what about disabled? What about disabled? I, that that's. I mean, I don't know what your question is. I'll give you an example of something. We have some new group members, a husband and wife team. He's a little bit older, and so we were sitting around and we were talking, and he was asking about medicine. How can I stock up on medicine? I need these certain medicines. It was a Jaceco, Dave. Jaceco, is that what the medicine place? Where the meds?
Jase, JASE.com.
JASE.com. You were able to get certain meds from them before. Well, now they've changed it where you can get up to a year's supply of meds. Now, obviously, not. Yeah, well, can I get it out? Thank you. He's jumping in. I'm like, no, I'm maintenance drugs, not your narcotics. You're not going to get a year's supply of narcotics, but maintenance drugs, they will give you up to a year's supply if you go through that company. So that's an option for some people. You know what I mean? It's going to put you in a position to be able to do what you need to do until you can try to find some kind of alternatives for that medication. So, yeah, antibiotics, steroids, heart medicine, etc. Exactly. But not narcotics, which I totally get that and I totally respect that. We have a little bit of a drug problem in this country. So, yeah, that would probably not be the one that you would want to. Yeah, it's a Jace medical kit, right? But Carol, they've changed it up now. They had the regular kit that you used to be able to buy, which is still available, but now they've just changed it where you can go ahead and get a year's supply of maintenance drugs that you are on. Like if you're on high blood pressure medication, you can get a year supply that way. So we were talking about that and stuff like that. So you know, that's going to be a concern for people that are on medication. If you don't have your medication, how long are you going to last if you don't have your medication? So that's a real important aspect of it as well. So putting yourself and again, there's all kinds of alternative medicine out there. I'm not saying that you should be using that now, but you definitely need to know what are the alternatives that I can use that is in nature that's going to help me in that situation if I run out of. You can buy hardcore drugs from vending machines in New York City. I don't think it's the drugs, but I know that like it's crack pipes and all kinds of other stuff that they're sending up these vending machines, which is insanity to me. Why here's what I don't get with that, and I did see that too, JJ, that they're doing that in New York City. Why are you enabling these people? Yes, wild lettuce, Dawn is saying, is just as good as morphine. So, but in nature, it's out there. So, but why are you enabling these people? I don't get it. I really, really, truly don't get it. Why are you enabling them? But no disrespect, but I believe what's coming. But I just want to know what we can really do. Good question, King. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. The reality is this: we do everything that we can to put ourselves in a position to win. Because what you have to understand, it is a game. It's a game. And I like to win. When I play a game, I play to win. So putting yourself in a good location where you can be safe, where you're going to have not a lot of people. It's insurance, exactly. It's exactly what it is. Having the supplies on hand. And if you're brand new to prepping, and I talked about this before, you start out with a 2 week supply of food and water. Why 2 weeks? Because 95% of the people in this country, I'm beating a dead horse here because I've said this a million times, 95% of the people in this country are not prepared for a 2 week disaster, let alone anything more substantial. So if you have nothing more than a 2 week supply of water prepped up, it's giving you a huge advantage over the majority of the people. Okay, a huge advantage. Now, obviously, you don't want to just stop at a 2 week supply of food and water. You're going to want to continue to grow that, but then you're also going to. But that's a good start. Do that to start with. Get that in place, and then you expand from there. You continue to add on more food and water. Um, get ways to purify water. I've talked about this many times, and I'll say this again in a true SHTF event, more people are going to die from dysentery from drinking tainted water than any other way. What? There's going to be a lot of gunshot victims. There's going to be a lot of suicides. People losing their minds. You're going to see more people dying because they're drinking tainted water than any other way. So making sure you have some way to purify water is hugely important. So to me, I would look at it like this: if you have an apartment or you have a house, you have shelter already in place for right now. Okay? So you get your 2 week supply of food and water, you do that first. The next thing that you do is you get a way to purify water. There's all kinds of options out there that you can look it up. That's what the internet's for. The internet is a great place. Get your water purification means. Once you have that in place, then you're looking, depending on what part of the country you are in, again, it is going to be a big factor. You know, if you live in the Northeast, you want to be able to make sure that you can stay warm in the wintertime. If you are not, if you can't have a wood stove, all right, or even see, here's the beauty, guys. You can get one of those little bitty portable wood stoves that they use in tents, right? A tent stove. Well, if it's SHTF and you're in an apartment, guess what? You vent it out the window of your apartment. You can keep your apartment warmer or a room warm so that you're not going to freeze to death. That's important. So, Ed, one second said it best. The reason why people have a spare tire, you have to have it and hope you never have to use it. Exactly. You know, it's hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. Again, my thing is this. I always say that I'm going to hope for the best, but I'm going to prepare for the worst. But me, I don't have a whole lot of faith in mankind. Yeah, mini Sawyers are a great thing. The big thing, Carol, with mini Sawyers, what you got to remember is this: once you have used your mini Sawyer, you do not want to let that membrane freeze. If that membrane freezes, it will separate the filter and it'll be useless. So once you have that, you've used that, your mini Sawyer, keep it close to your body. Your body heat alone will keep it in a good condition. So an inside pocket of a jacket or something like that, that would be my suggestion on that. But keep it close to you because that's life and death right there. Okay. And I've talked about this before. Okay. If you can, if you are in cities, if you are in suburbia, I would highly, highly recommend you get out of those areas. I know everybody that you should if you can. If you can get out of there, you get out of there. I lived in Greece, New York, okay, which is a suburb, realistically, of Rochester, New York, which is a decent sized city, up in upstate New York. The New York's or Rochester, New York, and the surrounding counties is over 1 million people. All right, so, and put it into perspective, the entire state of West Virginia has 1.7 million people for the whole state. And we're talking about one small concentrated area, upstate New York, there's 1 million people. It's not talking about Buffalo, which is its own entity up there. We're talking about the Rochester area. So I lived in suburbia. We were there for 8 years. Realized we need to get out of this area, get into a more secure area. So that's why we ended up leaving that area, moving down to the homestead that we had in New York. Okay, and it was a much better location, more defendable, controlling the high ground. High ground is important. I'm telling you right now, high ground is important. If you can control the high ground, it's a tactical advantage. Number one. Number two, it puts you in a position. Most people are going to take the path of least resistance. So if I'm a refugee, because that's what most people are going to be in a true SHTF situation. They're going to be a refugee, right? So you got your pack on, you're walking, you're trying to get somewhere. You're out of shape, you're not used to walking. You're going to take the path of least resistance. So if your options are, I can go up this hill or I can take this flat road this way, 98% of the people are going to be like, I'm not going up that hill. They're going this way. So again, controlling the high ground, being at a higher elevation, it's less likely that you're going to be, you know, bothered by people. The people that you need to worry about. So let's talk about that a second. The people you need to worry about are your immediate friends, family, and neighbors, especially if they know you prep. All right. I've always been very vocal. I believe in trying to help as many people as I can, try to wake as many people up as I can. So I do. I talk about it. Obviously, I put myself out here on YouTube. So that's what happens. But the reality is this: in a true SHTF situation, you'll be lucky to get out of the town that you're in, let alone thinking you're going to go travel anywhere, any distance. After the third day. After you have a very short window to get to where you want to be for safety. And I think that that's important. I think that that's important. And yeah, this is why you stay quiet and become Sergeant Schultz. You know, again, and I've talked to you about this before. My game plan when SHTF happens, and I've been very vocal about this. We're hunkering down and we're not going anywhere. When everybody gets here, we're staying on site. We're not going off. We're not going to wander around. We're going to let the populace kill themselves off. We're going to take care of our business. We're going to take care of what we need to take care of. Can you scroll up and read my comment? Okay, hold on a second. Let me see if I can see what you said here. That's definitely a good way of doing it. Yeah. Well, King Drad's a great comment. If you are interested, my friend, shoot me an email, give me a call, or give me your phone number. Shoot me an email at prepreneurs1@yahoo.com. Give me your number. I'll give you a call. We can talk, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Um, like I said, the only way we survive what's coming, my friends, and I've said this many times, is we have to group up. We have to have a group. All the people out there that think they're going to lone wolf it, I wish them the best of luck in the world, and I hope that they make it. But the reality is, long term, they're not. Why? Why won't they long term? They will become a target because if they have and the have nots don't, and there's a group of 20 have nots and you are by yourself with your wife, your kids, maybe grandpa and grandma are there, uh, you're not going to be able to withstand that. But if you have a group of 50, 60 people, okay, and that group of people come, the marauders, if you will, and there's 20 of them, and they come upon a group that has some strength that is prepared for them, they're going to go look for softer targets. They're not going to try to go to an organized, squared away group and try to take their stuff because they're going to be having huge losses. You know, they're going to have huge losses. But that's the reality. The reality is, if you are not prepared at all and you've done nothing, your chances of survival are not good. Now, some people that are unprepared that have done nothing, they're going to be in fairly decent shape because, you know, they got a head on their shoulders and they know what to do. Maybe they've done some research or who knows what they've done. But Ed, the Lone Wolf Preppers is the least of my worries. They can watch too many movies and become cannon fodder at the beginning. Yeah, they're absolutely going to be that. You're alone. I want you to think about this. You were, Joe Rambo, right? You got every skill in the world. You know everything, right? Which nobody knows everything, but you think you do. You're Joe Rambo. It's you, your family. Screw you. I'm not being part of a group. I'm doing it all on my own. What happens when you get sick? You get injured, right? Who's going to pick up the slack? Who's going to be there to help you get back to health and get better and recover and be able to recover? If you are the man, if you are it, you can't stay up 24 hours a day. You can't do it. I don't care who you are. I don't care how tough you think you are. You cannot do it and do everything that needs to be done. There is a reason that throughout history there have been tribes. There's strength in numbers, and you can diversify the workload. You can diversify if somebody gets hurt. You're going to be able to give them the time that they need to recover and get better. That's important. Okay. I've told you guys this before. This is what the deal's going to be in my group. All right. SHTF happens. You don't work. You don't eat. Simple. Right. If you're lazy and you feel like you're entitled and everything should be handed to you, you might as well get on down the road right now because you're wasting our time. And when I say everybody works or you don't eat, it doesn't mean that everybody's out there doing a ton of physical labor. That's not what I'm saying. There are certain people that are going to be more able to do physical labor, but there's going to be other people that are going to be able to contribute in other ways. Okay? Little kids under supervision and protection can go in the woods and they can pick up sticks. There's your kindling wood. Little kids can pick up a whole lot of kindling wood in a hurry, right? There's other jobs that you can give them that's busy work, if you will, but necessary for the overall good of a group. You know, there's gardening that can be done. There's going to be watches that need to be manned. You know, so if you can't get up and physically do a lot of stuff, well, guess what? You can sit and you can man the comms, right? For the people that are out on patrol or in designated locations, keeping watch on stuff. So keeping your people fresh, keeping your people well rested, keeping your people fed, all right, keeping morale high. These are all important things. Whatever's coming, guys, this is my philosophy. I just don't want to survive it. I don't want to just survive. Just surviving, I think to me would be a nightmare. I want to thrive on the other side. All right? Yeah, there's no more internet, no more TV, no more cell phones. It would get right back to brass tacks survival situation, doing what you had to do. But if you have a sharp mind, if you have the skill set, if you have the knowledge, books, I've talked about books so many times, how important books are, because you're going to have a whole lot more free time than you think in an SHTF situation to be able to study, to be able to learn, having that knowledge in hardcover to be able to fall back on. I have medical books. I have gardening books. I have wild edibles. I have medicinal plant books. How to do this, how to do that. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you really quick. One of the most important books that I highly recommend. Let's see where it is. Yep. Hold on a second. When I came to West Virginia, this book was always in my truck. Always in my truck. Gotta move my crap all out of the way. Now, I have no association with this gentleman. I get nothing for promoting this. So I don't want you to think, oh, well, he's making money off of promoting this guy. I'm not. But I would highly recommend. This is Camping and Wilderness Survival by Paul Trawell. Okay? I'm going to show you that again. I'm going to show you how thick this book is. All right? This is a no joke book. I'm going to give you an example. A lot of details of different things. Here's fishing, how to make the different fishing hooks, fishing lures. Depending where you are, he goes over everything. If you're in the mountains, if you're in any of those type of places, this is the type of book that's going to help you survive. Because you know why? You can look at this and go, how do I make a shelter? Let's see. Okay, so let's do this real quick. I'm going to show you something. We're going to do it this way. Look up shelters. How do I make a shelter? Let's see. There's a lot of sections, so give me a moment. Okay, here we go. We're just going to look up this one. Cave sheltering. So 409. So we're going to look up here real quick. Very detailed about cave sheltering. Okay? That's just one example, guys. But that again, I'm going to show you the book again. Okay? I would highly recommend as a prepper, as a beginner, as anybody that's out there getting ready to do anything, that's the book you should have. If you don't have anything else, you should have that. You should have. There goes my keys. If I don't pick them up, I'll forget about it later. But again, it's important to have knowledge-based things that you can go back on, that you can rely on, that you can look at to help you to put you in a position to win. Again, it's a game. You don't think it's a game, but it's a game. Yeah, there's a book out there, When There's No Dentist Available. Another really good book to have. There's a ton of information out there. The internet is a great resource right now. You can get PDFs, download all kinds of stuff, download all kinds of information. Okay, it's a good thing. you better be in a position to have that book, those books available. If you can get them in hardcover, that's what I would recommend more than anything else. Um, but you better get your groups together. You better get squared away. Uh, I've talked about this. Joe had brought it up. Joe from St. Bernard Acres, and we had a discussion the one night, and he had asked me a question about something in the chat. So, and I'm going to go over that again with you guys. All right. So I talked about the importance of a group and having a group of people working together and being with people that you want to be with. I would rather right now, while it's not SHTF event, put a team together and realize, okay, this person's not a good fit for us and they have to go. But these other people, they are a good fit and we can work together and we can thrive and realize that on the other side, these are people that I can work with long term. That's important. Don't, this is what's going to happen. And that's when Joe was like, well, I don't want somebody else telling me what to do. Okay. And that's a fair point and that's great. Okay. What I said was this when he said that point. I said, I will guarantee you this. If you do not have a group, if you don't have a group, you will group up with somebody in a post SHTF event, a true event, end of the world as we know it, never going back to normal. You will end up in a group. I guarantee you'll end up in a group or you'll be dead. One of the two. Okay? May not be the kind of group that you want to be in. But the other part of that, what's going to happen is you're going to take orders from somebody. Aaron says you can print stuff off and go to your local library and laminate it. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Thank you very much for the donation, Aaron. And that's a great point, and you're 100% correct. But at the end of the day, folks, you're going to take orders from somebody. And, knowing what kind of people you want to be around and making those choices now is hugely huge. Okay. That reality of it. It's just the reality of it. Someone's got to call the shots. Do you want to be with somebody who has a God complex that thinks there's a second coming? You all have to listen to me no matter what. Here's the Kool Aid because I'm Jim Jones. And if you don't know who that is, look it up, right? I don't want to be in that group. I don't want to be. I don't want to be a Branch Davidian where the government comes in and kills everybody. Or, well, that's not what they said happened, but my mistake. I don't want to be accused of saying false information. But there was an issue with the government. We'll put it like that. So let me take that back, okay? Um, you know, or being in some kind of crazy cult, you know. I don't want that. I don't want to be following a guy that thinks, hey, I've had this vision and we all need to do this, and you better step in line and do what they say. I don't want to be in part of that. I want to be with a group of like-minded people that we have the same game plan, we have the same thought process. We look at the big picture and realize the importance of coming together, working together. SHTF, if it happens and you ever got here and you were allowed to come in, okay, I'm just putting that out there, and you were allowed to come in, what you'll see here, hopefully by that point in time, will be all kinds of livestock. Everywhere that is open ground that you can see, something will be growing. Because again, and I've talked about this before, in a true SHTF situation, we will be gatherers and growers. That's it. There ain't going to be nothing in the woods to hunt because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to be in the beginning in the woods, plunking away, thinking they're going to get food and they're going to feed their family that way. Especially the people who have no idea what they're doing, and that's going to happen like that. That's exactly what's going to happen like that. Okay, so you have to. It's all about choices. Right now, relatively speaking, we're in a good position because it hasn't happened yet. So make your choices. Make your choices. You have a choice. You know. Okay, so Don just made a point, and I'll put it like this: in my group, I have people that are religious in my group, and I have people that are not religious in my group. But here's what happens: we respect each other. I respect their right to believe what they believe. They respect my right to believe what I believe. And that's the end of the story. I've talked about this before to you guys, and I'm going to tell you again. All right? You want to be racist, you want to hate somebody because they're a different color, a different race, or somehow different than you, knock yourself out. If you want to hate somebody because they're a Democrat or Republican, knock yourself out. If you want to hate somebody because they're homosexual or heterosexual or whatever they identify as now, right? That's your choice. Knock yourself out. But let me tell you this, or if like I said again, somebody's religious or not religious. Again, there's another one. You want to hate them other people, have a great time at it. Do what you got to do. SHTF happens, and you come up on a house, and the person has completely opposite views of what you have, right? They're a different color than you like. They're a different religion than you like. Their thought process of politics is a whole different process than what you think. But they got a bowl of soup, and they say to you, "Hey, listen, things are tough, and I know you're struggling. I'm going to give you this bowl of soup and let you have this bowl of soup." Are you going to tell me? You're going to sit here and tell me right now, "Oh no, you think different than I do. I'm not accepting that soup from you because you might be homosexual or lesbian or you're this religion or that religion or you're this color or that color." You're going to take that soup, folks, and you're going to be grateful. That's the reality. Okay. So all the other little nonsensical crap that goes on right now, it ain't going to make no difference. And I will tell you this too, and I know this for a fact too. There are groups of people out there when SHTF happens, white groups, red groups, Hispanic groups, black groups, that they're going to be on a mission to kill everybody that ain't the same color as them. And to me, that's stupidity personified. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay? We are all human beings. And as soon as we can figure that out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. I say that at the end of every one of my videos. I say it at the end of my live streams, and I mean it. I know we're going to do head count in a minute, JJ. I'm on a roll, JJ. Um, we have to come together. The rich sit back and laugh while you are sitting there fighting over if I'm a Democrat or Republican, if I'm drinking Bud Light because they got a tranny on the can of Bud Light or not. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Here's what you do. If you don't like trannies, don't associate with trannies. If you don't like Bud Light because they put a tranny on their can, then don't buy it. I don't give a crap. I don't care what you do. You don't have to come out there. Oh look, Kid Rock. He shot all the cans of Bud Light. Oh my God, he's my hero. Who cares? Kid Rock, you don't want to drink Bud Light? Don't drink Bud Light. Good for you. You're not a hero. You're nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's a distraction. Exactly. It's all a distraction. At the end of the day, we have to come together. Okay, that's it for Grant for the moment because we got to do egg count. How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck? I'm sorry, guys. If I get on my soapbox, certain stuff drives me crazy. So go ahead and put your guesses in there, and we will go from there. Give you a moment to get your guesses up there. I'm going to butcher this last name, but you'll know who you are because you're the only one that had the right guess. If you have the same guess, is John Zeke real? I believe that's how I say it. Probably not, but I was close. So you'll know who you are. With the 5 eggs today, and yes for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. And again, he's the only one that I saw that had the correct answer. So the rest of you do not. So congratulations, John. You've won absolutely nothing. except for bragging rights. And again, if you and I was laughing because I saw your guesses were all high because the last live stream the egg count was 11. So, but apparently they took Sunday off. So yeah, 5 eggs today, and yes for Miss Thickneck. So congratulations, John, on that one. But so anyway, guys, getting back to what I was saying, um, let's kind of get back. I'm off track, but I'm not really off track. I'm talking about things that are really important. If you knew today you had 2 years, what are you doing about it? What are you getting ready? What are you focusing on? Right? Food obviously is going to be a huge part of that. You need to make sure you have plenty of food, and obviously, if you can, more than a 2 week supply. Uh, what you're looking to do, any prepper worth their salt is doing this. They're trying to have enough supplies on site, prepared, ready to go, to get you through at least that first winter. If you can do more than that, that's great. Okay. I think you should probably have as much as you possibly could. I think that that's important. So making sure you have enough food to get you through that first winter because we don't know when SHTF is going to happen. Yeah, guys, if you have a question, all cap locks, please. It makes it really important. Security obviously is going to be a huge factor as well. You got to make sure that you protect what you have. That's important. Some people don't like guns. Well, you don't have to like guns, but they're a tool like anything else. And I think that they're an important tool, especially when you have a situation where people are coming to try to take what you have. You have to let them know in the most uncertain terms that that is not acceptable behavior. All right? You got to do what you got to do. And I think that that's important. So, to me, again, it's a huge factor in that. So, food, water, shelter, making sure you have extra clothing, uh, extra boots, shoelaces, medical supplies. If you are on medicine, make sure that you either know alternative means to get the medicine that you need to have or try to get up as much of a supply as you possibly can. Once you get those type of things in place, I think now for me personally, I know some people like gold. I don't recommend gold. I recommend silver. I think having junk silver. What do I mean by junk silver? Dimes, quarters, 50-cent pieces, dollar, silver coins. I think it's important to have those. You should have those, some of that, but don't have a bunch of that and not have enough of your other supplies because you can't eat it. Remember that. You cannot eat silver. Okay. Again, books are hugely important. This is something that and again, I have talked about this before, okay? And you may think, why that? But it's important. Cards, dice, board games, okay? Um, things, chess piece, checkers, all those type of things. Something that's going to stimulate your mind, keep you distracted from whatever is going on, but it will help give you some entertainment. Cornhole, yeah, exactly. Same type of situation, same thing. Have things that you can do for entertainment. Frisbees, yeah, so that you can relax a little bit. You can't be all. Do you think the rapture will take place first? I don't believe there'll be a rapture at all. Honestly, Wayne, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but the rapture was made up in the 1800s. If you look at the research of it, there is no rapture. No rapture is coming. So that is something that was made up by a religious figure in the 1800s. You can believe in it, and that's fine. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it's a fallacy. It's not going to happen. There's not going to be any rapture. If you look at the Bible, all right, for you folks that believe in the Bible, in the Bible it says, right, only 144,000 shall inherit the kingdom of God. 144,000. Think about that, right? So, does that mean there'll be a rapture? No. You know what I mean? So, just you have to think about you can, like I said again, religiously, yeah, the Bible does not talk about a rapture at all exactly, but that's neither here nor there. But if people want to believe, that's perfectly fine. You can believe whatever you want. Yeah, we got more north of 8 billion people on the planet. So if only 144,000 are going to go to heaven, uh, what does that tell you? That most of us are not. Okay. So, but anyway, I'm reality based. Okay, that's me. Again, I don't disrespect anybody for believing whatever they believe, and you can go ahead and believe that. I'm going to count on me. You know, I'm going to count on me. So that's just, like I said, I know some people like, oh, well, I'll just pray and God will take care of me. Well, good luck with that. You know, there's millions of people of every religion. I want you guys to think about something. And again, not trying to disrespect anybody, but I will put it like this. In the history of mankind, now I want you to think about that. We got what, 8 billion people on the planet right now, something in that figure. How many people have been on the planet all time? More people have died in the history of mankind because of organized religion than any other way out there. Yes, and the Bible does tell you to prepare as well. Yeah, absolutely, it does. Yep, you go back to Moses and stuff like that. But again, I'm going to say this again for those of you that don't believe. More people have been killed in the name of organized religion than any other way ever. So you don't believe what I believe, so I'm going to kill you. Yeah, Noah was a prepper, exactly. Okay, so again, you have a choice. You can sit in your house and wish. This is a saying that I've used for a long time. Okay, yes, man-made religion. I don't disagree with that, TNT, but that's my personal preference. Here's what I want you to think about: wish in one hand and crap in the other. Let's see which one fills up first. Right? That's reality. That's reality. So look at it that way. You can do what you want to do. Um, so let's put it like this. All right, and I'm gonna break it down simple. And again, I'm not disrespecting anybody. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I don't. So you're not gonna all of a sudden. It's not like one day I'm gonna have an epiphany and go, "Oh my God!" Not happening. I'm 58 years old. It ain't happening. There's 4,000 religions out there, folks. 4,000 religions. But your religion, your particular one, whatever you believe, that's the only one that's right. How do you know? How do you know? So, again, not trying to be disrespectful. Again, you can believe whatever you want to believe, and I respect your right to believe that. But again, I am reality based. That's who I am. And I'm going to count on me. I'm going to count on the people that I have surrounded myself with. I do believe that good people need to survive whatever's coming. And if you have a good organized group of people, regardless of the religion, regardless of their color, regardless of their sexual orientation, that's important. Okay, that's just my take on it. That's just my take on it. But preparing, being ready is hugely important. If you can be part of a group, I highly recommend that you do so. Be careful with groups. I will tell you that too. I have a group. I'm going to tell you, be careful with groups. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're in a group that all of a sudden has plans that we're going to do this, and now you're caught up in that. What are you going to do? What's your choice? What are you going to do? Okay, you got to be careful with that. I will tell you what I tell my people when anybody new comes in. I tell them the same thing every time. We are not a militia. If you want to be part of a militia, this is not the group for you. Okay, so there's plenty of militias out there. If you think that you're, the second coming of, I'm trying to, Audie Murphy, you're the second coming of Audie Murphy. Go have at it. Have a good time. We are not looking to overthrow the government. All right. Maybe we're not happy with our government, but we're not looking to overthrow the government. If you are wanting to be a part of a group that wants to do that, knock yourself out. Okay. And that's your choice. What we are, our group here in West Virginia, we are a group of like-minded people that realize the importance of coming together, working together, trying to survive whatever may happen. That's who we are. And like I said, we're not looking. So there'll be groups out there, right? 50, 60 strong. You got the neighbor over here. They got all kinds of stuff that you would like to have. Some of those groups out there are going to go to that neighbor and they're just going to take it and they're going to kill all those people. That's not who we're going to be. We're going to be the group that's going to make sure that we're trying to help our neighbors, make sure that they're going to be okay, make sure that they're going to be safe, work together with them, because that's how you survive long term, you know. And they also, if you think about it, we're here. If I have neighbors here, behind me, we're working with them. We're helping them. They're helping us, right? We're working together. If somebody comes to attack, they can't circumvent that group of people. They have to go through them first. So that gives us early warning. We can go and help, in a certain sense of numbers. And those are things you have to think about. So again, like I said, we all have choices to make. We can all do what we want to do, and that's fine. But like I said, to me, I look at the big picture. I see what's happening. I see what's important, and we're trying to put ourselves here. Yeah, we started out with raw land here in West Virginia, raw land. Okay, and we're working on getting things together and working on things. And every month, guess what? Ed, if you had unlimited money, where would you like to hunker down? Right here in West Virginia. In all honesty, if I had unlimited money, I would have an underground structure that would blow your mind. Levels, levels underground. Okay, air filtration, all that type of stuff. Now everything above ground would be gardens and maybe some small buildings and stuff like that. But the majority of what we would have would be underground. It would absolutely be underground. All right, we got to do shout outs because of course. Just as you did in New York. I'm doing exactly the same thing that I was doing in New York, but this is a much better place to be. Strategically, it's better, less densely populated, taxes are cheaper, gun laws are better, the politics are better. Right now, that's a factor, obviously. Uh, the less populated a spot where you can be, it puts you in a better position, and that's a fact. That's a fact. In country, folks, I tell you what, once you get involved and they know who you are and they can trust you, um, they're the best people that you could possibly be around. Okay. All right, we're gonna do some shout outs right after I have another drink. What are we at? 439 in the chat. We're at 270 on the thumbs up. See, I haven't even been asking for thumbs up. I did it like twice, I think. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you for that ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so we're going to start out with Icky Can up in Canada, a real good guy. I would ask you to show him some support. He's been almost as long as I have. He's got like a year less off grid than I do. Angry Prepper down in New York City with Jason. Jason's an awesome dude. Definitely check him out and support his channel as well. You have Alaska Prepper, and that's Rudy, another really good guy. Really got a lot of good information on his channel. There is Alaska Granny. Up in Canada, you have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels, same guy, building in the middle of the Alaskan wild, building his home, getting his gardens in, being as self sufficient as he possibly can be. And it's amazing to watch him do what he's doing. There's Demcad, real good guy as well, very smart, a lot of great information on his channel. There's Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizarrizza Jizza who does the Carrington Chronicles. It's an interesting story, a lot of good information that you can take from those stories. Let's see, where am I? We have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Really good guys out there. Definitely show them support as well. You have Magic Prepper. There is Wrangle Star. That's Cody. Great channel. Has been around for a long time. A lot of good information on his channel. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily. She's over in Europe. A lot of good information with her as well. Looking at it from a European perspective, which I think is interesting. You have Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota. Nice young couple living off grid. Fun to watch them. They're really doing a good job up there, so definitely check them out as well. Let's see. We have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team. They live. They split the time between Michigan and Alaska. A lot of good information with what they have as well. You have Green Greg's. A lot of good gardening information with Green Greg's. Check him out. Very helpful, useful information. There is Southern Prepper One with his Boots on the Ground series. Really interesting as well. Good channel. Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. They've been around a long time. Definitely check them out as well. You have the Nomadic Movement. They're down in Panama. A young couple down there doing their thing out there. You have the Green Dream Project in Arizona. Again, nice young couple out there showing you how to live in the desert, what you have to do. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, who does stealth camping. Really good guy. A lot of good information with his channel. And it's fun to watch him, sneak around and camp without getting caught. You have Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. Good channel as well, and definitely check her out. You have Boss of the Swamp. He's been around a long time too. Awesome builder as well. Fun to watch him. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is a very smart man. He will tell you about the Grand Solar Minimum and everything that's going on with that. Very interesting guy to listen to. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Another really, really good channel. A lot of good information on her channel. There's City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer. Interesting stuff with him, with the solar system and everything like that as well. There is Bear Independent, the Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. Really good guy. A lot of good stuff with his channel. Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest information of Yellowstone, the earthquakes, what's going on. She's on top of it, so definitely fun to watch her. There's Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There's Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, very passionate about the weather, but he really gives back big to the community as well. So he's somebody that I think that you should support. So that's why I recommend him. There's Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand. He gives you the information. He doesn't tell you what you need to think. He gives you the information and lets you think for yourself, which I think is awesome. That's how the news should be, right? You make the decision. They're not telling you what to think. Deep South Homestead, another great channel. Excuse me, very down to earth. Definitely check them out as well. You have The Outsider. He's up in Maine. Really interesting with the build that he's done up there. You have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel. You have Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's. Townsend's gives you all the how to back in the 1800s, how to do stuff like that. Really, really cool. Let's see, where was I here? We have the Prepared Mind, formerly of California. I don't know why he would ever leave. Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. Pinball's a good guy, a lot of good stuff with his channel. You have East Tennessee Preparedness, the Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty, who is also in Tennessee. Now, a lot of other good channels, and I know you guys have put them in the chat as well, which is perfectly fine. I try to give shout outs because I think it's important that we look at diverse ideas, diverse viewpoints. People are not going to think the same, which I think is fine. I love being able to agree to disagree. I like being able to have discussions with people that if they disagree with you, they're not going to flip out. You know, and that's perfectly fine. So, again, I'm a big believer. Okay, you don't believe what I believe, and that's fine. I'm not going to try to convince you to believe what I believe, but you're not going to convince me to believe what you believe either. So, that's just where I'm at with that one. So, but I respect people, and we need more of that as well. you know, I may not agree with you, but I respect your right to whatever you. Like I said, if you want to believe, okay, you think this spoon is the second coming, and you pray to the spoon every day, and that is your God. The spoon is your God, right? But if you sit there and tell me that I have to pray to the spoon and believe that this spoon is God as well, that's not going to happen. That's just an example. That's all I'm giving you as an example. So again, I'm going to respect your right to believe what you believe, and I am perfectly fine with that. But I'm not praying to the spoon. Okay. So anyway, uh, yeah, it's about respect. Respect each other as human beings. Um, you know, yes, but spooning leads to creation. Oh my God, JJ, you're too funny. So anyway, guys, again, like I said, it comes down to treating. This is my philosophy. If you're cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. If you're an a-hole, guess what? I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what political affiliation you are. If you're an a-hole, you're an a-hole. Period. I want nothing to do with you. I don't have the time to waste on hating anybody because life is too short. There's too many positive things that I want to do, that I want to accomplish, that I don't have time for that. So if I don't, and here's the thing, guys, we all have people out there that we don't care for. Okay, um, we don't like them for whatever reason. The way they talk, the way they look, the way they act. I'm as guilty as anybody else. There's people out there that I don't care for. But here's what I do: I don't bother with them. I let them go ahead and live their lives. There's a couple, I'm not going to say, and I'm not saying it's a couple, but there's a couple of YouTube channels out there that I don't care for. Okay? I don't like them. I don't like the way the person talks. I don't like their attitude. I don't like whatever it is about them that I don't care for. So guess what I do? I don't watch. I don't associate myself with them. I have nothing to do with them. And that's it. But I'm not going to come on here and badmouth them because I don't like them. I'm not going to do that. Because again, I believe that you need to respect each other. So, but yeah, and you go on with your life. Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, let us go ahead and do this. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? And again, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, that would be great. There's Philip from Melbourne, Australia. Good day, Philip, even though you're on the wife's account. We have Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Waterloo, New York, Western New York, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, Tucson, Arizona with Angela. We got Tennessee, Dayton, Ohio, BC, Canada, Connecticut, Greenville. I missed the rest of it. The beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny, uh, the UP of Michigan with Dawn, Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol, Troutman, North Carolina with Troy, Sacramento, California with Shirley. There's Dawn from the UP of Michigan, Virginia, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Massachusetts or Tusits?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, okay. Washington, D.C. with Jamelia, Fort Collins, Colorado, Arkansas, Ozark Hillbilly in the house. Randall, glad to have you here. Bubba One from Michigan. We got Campbell, Missouri with Antonio. Another UP of Michigan with Dina. Littleton, Colorado with Shane. The Mojave Desert in Southern California with Dave. Sean, the Englishman in Chatham, Ontario, Canada. Good to see you tonight, Sean. Northern Virginia with Robert. Canton, Ohio's in the house with Chad. Let's see, BC, Canada with Janet. Messenburg, Pennsylvania, Mark. I may know you. White Mountain, Arizona with Emil. Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert. We have Ontario in the house with Northern Girl Hobbies. Whiteville, North Carolina. The Old Innkeeper. South Alabama, we have South Carolina with Robert, Central Missouri, West Central Ohio with Dale. We got Wisconsin in the house. So again, guys, all over the country, all over the world, we're a huge, huge network of people. You know, if we came together, got organized, truly got organized, that'd be scary. The government would be afraid. They really would be, because we are preppers. We're ready, and if we got organized, it'd be amazing what we could, the power that we could yield just with that simple fact. Again, remember, they want us divided. They want us fighting amongst each other. That's the goal. Because as long as we're fighting amongst each other over the scraps, we're never focusing on the real problem, and that's big business and the government. So so they win. But anyway, that's that's the important things. But oh, so hold on a second. I need a, what do we have? 315 on the thumbs up. We still got 328 in the chat. Let's see. We haven't got much time left. Let's go for 25 more. 25 more thumbs up. Let's hit 340 if we can before we jump off here. Why? Why not? So if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so. Um, that's part of big business, is big pharma, Dawn. Um, let's see if we can hit 340 thumbs up before we jump off here. So I appreciate that. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So here's something that I thought was funny, okay? This again just goes to show the mindset of people, all right? So my truck is a Ford F-150. So you got your people that like Ford, you got your people that like Chevys, you got your people that like GMC, whatever. I don't care. A vehicle to me is a vehicle. So when I had the issues and brake issues, somebody got on the channel and was like, "Oh, that's because Fords are pieces of crap." So I would like you guys, any of you Chevy owners out there, okay, all you Chevy owners, you've never ever had brake problems on your Chevy. You've never had brake problems on your GMCs. It's strictly a Ford issue. I mean, that shows you the silliness of it. That's just silly. Oh, I love muscle cars, Angela. I've had a Trans Am. I had a Ford Mustang convertible. Yeah, yeah. So I've had, but anyway, any vehicle can have all those problems. Exactly, Robert. But I just always thought it's funny. Now, if you're actually, if you want to get a car or a truck that's going to last, that's a good quality car, you don't buy American. Sorry, anybody that works for those companies, you're going to go over there and you're going to buy your Toyota or whatever. They, yeah, they last. They last. So I mean, but the brakes are now good. He fixed them. Everything is good to go. Awesome. Again, I've told Mark already. And I talked to him this morning when he got back home, and I told him again. I said, "Thank you so much. You have no idea. I really, really appreciate it." So but anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do a fantastic job keeping the chat clean. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the support, making sure that we can have a good chat and that I don't have to worry about trying to monitor that on top of everything else. So I appreciate ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me. So what are we? 5 away from 340. Awesome. Keep it going, guys. We got to get over 340. So I appreciate that. Also, again, I want to thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel. Watch one troll tonight, JJ. Okay, that ain't bad. That's not bad at all. I appreciate all the support from you guys, watching the channel, watching our progress down here, watching what we're doing. What we're trying to show, realistically, is this type of thing which we're doing is possible, that it can be done, that you don't have to try to do it all by yourself. That you can come together and work together and have common interests and common goals and have a common mindset. And, if you have that in common, that's a good basis to start on. And I think that that's important. Okay. So, yeah, my dad's old Dodge got my Subaru home this morning, Mark said. Exactly. So, um, so anyway, guys, I appreciate all that. I want you guys to remember that we truly are all in this together. We really are. If we could come together, put a silliness and a nonsense, which I've already talked about tonight, race, religion, political affiliation, it means nothing. It really doesn't. Those are tools used to keep us fighting amongst each other. That's what they are. And guess what? It's working. It's working because, this person hates this person because of that. It's nuts. So, anyway, guys, let's work together. Let's come together as human beings because at the end of the day, that's what we are. Okay? Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So, it's really, really important. Yeah, I drove my Chevy to the levee. Yeah, can't drive the Ford to the levee, right? Um, it's important that we come together and work together. Tell the people that you care about every day how you feel. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. So make sure you tell those people that you love and care about every day that. So we hit 343. So we hit 340, which is cool. Can we hit 350? So that would be seven more. Can we get seven more? Also remember, guys, the most important thing: STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from reaching your goals, to setting realistic goals, and then set about to making them happen. And the only person stopping you is you. That's it. Nobody else. Nobody else can stop you. Stay away from negative people that tell you what you can't accomplish because they're bitter, their life sucks, they want your life to suck too. Don't listen to them. And again, it doesn't have to be about prepping. It doesn't have to be about living off grid. It can be whatever dream, aspiration that you have, you can do it. And I believe in you. And if you set those realistic goals, you set about to making them happen, and man, when they happen, then you can check that off the list. You check it off. That's done. I got that done. I will tell you what, when we have this pavilion squared away and it's done, I will be happy that we can check that off the list because it's there. We can utilize it. It's an asset for all of us, and that's awesome. And that's what it's all about. So, what are we at? 348. We need two more, guys. Two more thumbs up to hit 350. And just why not? Let's hit 350. So, but stay focused, take care of your business, and you guys are going to be just fine. And that's the reality. So we need two more thumbs up. Somebody's got to be in here that hasn't thrown a thumbs up yet. I said 340. Now I'm being greedy. So, but anyway, guys, stay positive, and you'll be okay. You really will. Yep, there's 350. Awesome. All right, guys, be safe. I will see you all in the next one. A lot of upcoming videos, a lot of information to share. We got a lot going on. There's more stuff that we're going to be getting accomplished the rest of this week. Dave is still here, so we have more stuff happening, and so just hang tight with us and watch. So now we're at 353. So you guys blew it out of the water. All right, guys, have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Prepper Nurse One out for now.